Howdy, welcome back to the channel. This is Matthew Pisgotti. We're going to talk about the questions regarding the piggy bank, namely, when should you compound, how often can you compound, max payouts, and what these different actions are on the individual stakes. Some obvious questions out of the way to kind of cover the columns and what they mean. This S/N is either stake number or serial number. Either way, it's just counting the iterations of your various piggy banks, your stakes in the platform. Obviously, this is the number of piglets. If you're used to drip garden, that corresponds to plants, piglets, which are producing truffles, and then you can compound truffles back into piglets. They don't have to be whole piglets like the plant seed analogy over in the drip garden. You can have fractional piglets, and you can see that I do have some here. Truffles value is the current dollar value of your available truffles if you were to sell those. We don't really care what the value is at the exact moment because it's going to fluctuate, especially over the length of our time lock. If I'm time locking these stakes, I don't really care if my value is 80 cents or what have you, because depending on my time lock stake, if I'm 8 weeks out, then I know that my principal over that time period is going to have a 23% bonus applied to it. If you're getting in these first 48 hours, you still have about 24 hours left, or 20 hours, somewhere in there. If you get in during that time, we're going to have an extra 20% added onto that time lock bonus. The price of pigs are going to fluctuate during that time, so I don't really care what the dollar value is here. And then time remaining is, of course, time remaining on my time lock, and then my max payout, which looks like it's in truffles. That's going to back into however many piglets you have versus how many truffles they make. The max payout, I believe, started at 5 times your whatever was in your principal valuation here, which is piglets basically. I think it was 5x. Then I heard 2, and I heard 3. Ray from Bartertown, Ray in the Animal Farm Telegram chat, the main admin over there, says that it's 3. That's the answer I got today. So 3 times your deposit, your stake, is going to be your max payout that you could actually pull out of the system, up to that 3% a day whenever your time lock is over. And of course, you would do that by the sell action any day that you wanted to claim to actually get those LPs back out to sell or put into a farm or do whatever you wanted with them. But it should be 3 times. Now, remember that 3 times is going to work. That 3x is going to work just like, say, the faucet, where yes, my max payout right now might be 42 drip. Actually, I don't even know if that's accurate. This may not have refreshed in a day. Anyway, 42 drip, and then I can increase that by increasing my deposit. So the max payout is, even though there is a cap, a total cap in the faucet, it's based on the deposit still. So if I'm compounding back in, if I'm hydrating, it's adding to my deposit, it's going to increase my max payout. And the same thing happens with the piggy bank. Every time you compound, you're going to be increasing your max payout, as far as I understand it. And so those are the 3 actions we have on each stake. So once a day here, we could compound once every 24 hours. It appears to be a 24-hour period. I don't see a countdown anywhere. If it was at a set time like EMP.Money, it would have a countdown, or we would have been we would have had that explained, right? So it seems to be just in a 24-hour period, which one benefit to that over, say, the garden is that if you are kind of competing against other people in the system to be the on par with the average user or better for your compound / harvesting or selling ratio, the good news for us is that we don't have to try to compound 5 times a day or 4 times a day or whatever it was. When I was first starting in the garden, I felt like I needed to do that a bit more often to keep up. Everyone is only able to compound once per day in the piggy bank, but the fractional ones are allowed. So, once in that 24-hour period, I would say, if we're going to talk about strategy, though, even though this does make it easier, if we're going to talk about strategy, the best time would probably be right when that time elapses. So because otherwise, I think that's how you would lose out with this system, is if it's once every 24-hour period, and if it takes 24 hours to restart, if you do it at, say, 1 p.m. one day, and then you wait till the next day, 1 p.m. passes, and then you don't do it until, say, 8 p.m. that night. Well, now your 24-hour period has shifted. Now you're all the way until the next 8 p.m. And I think, if I'm thinking about this correctly, that you're losing ground there. So what I would do is if I was going to compound once per day and keep up with these, which I will try to, is I would set some type of timer or reminder and try to do it around the same time every day. Obviously, you have to wait for that 24-hour period to elapse if this works the way I think it does. I'm in something like EMP.Money where I have a countdown every day. So I might, wait until, say, the last 5 minutes here, and I might compound my EMP, and then I might come over here and do all these at one time. Might be a good way to handle that if you're an EMP or something else that has a timer, or just set an alarm, set a timer once a day. So once a day you'll compound, and if you can't compound, you're going to have, at least on the PC when I hover, I'm seeing this red kind of strike through symbol, and that tells me I cannot compound right now. It looks like I can sell this value because this is not a locked stake, but it says I can't deposit. I'm going to guess compound and deposit are both once a day type actions, or you may not be able to deposit back into a unlocked, untime locked stake. I'm not certain on that. Don't quote me on it. That may be the case. This one I can't compound because I just did yesterday, and it's not been 24 hours yet. It looks like and obviously I can't sell either because these are time locked. You'll see this one, for instance, I do have the option to compound. There's no strike through. Or I could deposit. That's showing up for me as well. But I obviously can't sell because it's time locked. So all these time locked stakes, you're not going to be able to sell until that is over. You won't be able to claim any of that. But you can deposit or compound once per day if you want to add more capital into it. And by the way, if you find one of these that lets you deposit, you can see the window here. It's really just entering however many LP you want to throw into that stake and then clicking deposit. Looks like a pretty simple process. I haven't tested it yet. We'll have to test that out down the road and see how that affects some of this. I still have one I can compound. I think I compounded this other one earlier. Oh, no, my transaction may not have gone through. So one thing to mention is that when you're compounding, they cranked up the gas fee a little bit, they said, to kind of handle the congestion. Now, if you're using MetaMask or really any of the other wallets, normally you can edit your estimated gas fee. You can't see my MetaMask window over here, but if you scroll down on your MetaMask, there's going to be that estimated gas fee window. You can click the blue edit, and you can adjust the gas price, the gas limit, and try to do it that way. You could try to lower it and see if it'll go through. I was trying different amounts, and I haven't gotten it to push through just yet with any lower amounts. I'm waiting for this one to go through so I can show you what the gas actually ended up being. And we'll actually do both of mine while I'm sitting here, and then we'll see what the gas ended up being on both of those. You can see when I compound, my truffle value goes to 0. My piglets will increase, and then my truffles are going to be at a lower number because those are going to start clicking back up again. Remember the power of compound interest, though, how quickly this can snowball. The more of these you have, the quicker this is going to climb. So like, this one here with this $40 value, that's going to be a really nice compound when I can drop that back in to itself. Yeah, that one just went to 0, so my piglets go up. Now let's check both of these transactions on the chain just to see how much they ended up being. Should be this one and this guy. Yeah, so both of these ended up being 24 cents to compound. So a little more expensive than the garden. But like I said, the plus side is that we're only compounding once per day. I would do that right after your 24-hour period is over. Whatever time frame you want to pick to do that in is fine. But, I would try to keep it around the same day just for your convenience and so you're not losing any ground. Because if I'm thinking about that correctly, you would lose ground every day that you let that shift forward a little bit. So that's getting started in the garden. We'll see, how that shakes out. I see I've got some more referrals here, so that's good. I appreciate you guys so much. I don't have a lot of extra funds coming in right now. I'm not one of those YouTubers that's just like rolling in. You see, I don't have like 20,000 in here or anything like that. That being said, if this does take off, if it's doing really well, I will try to do my best to start picking random people and airdropping and gifting stakes and things like that. I would love to be able to do that. Because I have like almost 2,000 subscribers now. I really appreciate that. That's awesome that anyone finds value in my journey and is following along and appreciating the tips. So, I just let you know that I do appreciate that. And once I if I get to that point, or if these projects do really well, I'm going to try to return that, because those referrals are, theoretically, in any of these protocols and any of these contracts, you shouldn't need referrals, right? I mean, that shouldn't be the whole bread and butter of the system. That reeks of like some type of scammy type system, and I think these do well enough on their own. But that being said, we all do better with a bigger contract balance, with more new capital coming in. We're all going to do better for much longer to come, and everybody can get in and participate in that. And so when you do do these gift piglets, if you gift stakes to like friends or family into their wallets, and then let them know what's up, and then they get interested into the thing, or if you have other people that you can gift it to, I don't know, coworkers, whoever was interested, people in your following, maybe you have like a gaming community or some other type of community, and you can gift them stakes. All types of things like that do help the overall amount that we get locked in here in the contract balance, and that just keeps the fun going for everyone, so that hopefully we get to a point where, at least, I say hopefully on my end because I'm coming in as a smaller bag holder, but yeah, hopefully this really works out for us and we see some good returns. I'm excited to see where it goes. I was excited when the first one came out, and then we had that pause for over a month while they sorted out the issues. So now I'm really excited, and it's very similar mechanics to the Garden, but has all these improvements like the time lock stake bonus. That's really cool. So, yep, really excited to see where all that goes, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you again for always watching. Keep asking questions in the comments. I'm getting ideas on things I can answer, which was the purpose of this video today. When do you compound, and what are these actions for over here? So hopefully that answers the question. Catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.